Don't worry everyone, my Tarn finally showed up. What do you mean everyone's already done their reviews of him? Legacy Evolution Tarn is a lovely looking figure, realising his comic book design with startling accuracy. I mean, I don't even really have a particular fondness for the character, but as soon as I saw this robot mode, I knew I had to have it. It's a little bit special. The subtle use of transparent plastic to evoke the glowiness seen on his comic design, the bulky tank track shoulders, the purple Decepticon symbol that is his entire face. It's all great, and astonishingly little kibble. It's a very clean design. Although I'm not entirely sure why they chose to give him light piping made in such a way that it'll never pop off unless you're jamming a torch right down in there, but oh well, at least he has some. And despite a couple of joints on mine that I wish were a little tighter and an extra knee joint that doesn't click in properly, he is great fun to pose, with an expressive range of motion and big stable feet allowing him to get into all sorts of mischief. He's even got hinged grabby hands and feet that have proper up and down movement, things you don't see on a lot of leader class figures, let alone Voyagers, both of which really help elevate what you can do with him. Reminds me a lot of the recent G-Axis figure, actually, in that they're both quite fun to mess around with, they both have hinged grabby hands, and that they're both villains from the comics. Oh, and they also both have the same slightly wonky shoulder joints. Also quite enjoy these little rotating parts on his hip joints that keep the lines of his underpants unbroken whilst not interrupting the articulation. That's just a nice touch. For accessories, he comes with a thing and two guns. These can be bashed together for a double fusion cannon look, or you can throw them on his back for a gun cannon kind of vibe, or you can put the two guns together to form a super long gun if you absolutely must pick the worst option out of the three. He's also got plenty of 5mm ports should you wish to relive your War for Cybertron Siege days. I will say though that his slimmer design does make me feel like he's a little less substantial than a lot of other Voyager figures, and I know that's probably mostly in my head because he is about the right size and complexity. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm so used to figures that look like they're made out of a bunch of washing machines lashed together that anything less than that feels like I'm not quite getting my money's worth. Also, and more importantly, it really throws off the scale of my attempted recreation of Tarn talking Black Shadow to death. I mean, technically Black Shadow's legs alone are taller. The transformation is definitely one of those where it doesn't feel that solid until you connect the last tab, but it works alright and you're left with a pile of shapes that could generously be described as a tank. Although, in its defense, it is astonishingly close to what he turns into in the comic, so they did a legitimately good job. Also, as a little transformation tip from me to you, it doesn't tell you to do this in the instructions, but if you turn his head 180 degrees before folding it away, his transformation will go a little smoother. I know it says this on TF Wiki too, but I realised this all on my own before reading that, so please allow me this small bit of glory. The tank mode does look quite neat for what it is. And why do I have so many tank transformers? I just seem to accumulate them. But yeah, he's only slightly let down by the obvious hands hanging off the back. But you can rotate the turrets, so that's nice. Plus, all the guns are blast effect compatible. So is Tarn perfect? No. But have I had a lot of fun with him? Yes. And considering that this is the first time they've realised the character in plastic at mass retail, well, I think they've done a pretty good job. Plus, it is quite funny to find Edgelord Torture Boy here on toy store shelves next to, like, unsold rescue bots.